Thanks for checking out the BoshNRoll channel. If you want to see me play your deck, hang out with me in the amazing BoshNRoll community in Discord, access to my lists and sideboard guides before tournaments, book an individual coaching session, or just generally want to support what's going on here, check out the Patreon and YouTube membership options. For the finest Magic the Gathering apparel on the market, use code BoshNRoll for 10% off your order at coalesceapparel.shop. Moxfield.com is the easiest way to build a Magic deck online. If you want to play what I'm playing, use my affiliate link to support the channel while you shop for cards at tcgplayer.com and play any deck anytime on Magic Online with a cardhoarder.com loan account. Thanks for being here. Let's go play some Magic. Welcome back to the BoshNRoll channel. Today I'm playing Legacy, and this is a sweet one at the request of Patreon subscriber Akratos. This is Rug Dreadnought with Greater Good. I played a Greater Good deck in Modern on the channel a while ago. It was honestly kind of a disaster. The deck was not really built like a Modern deck. It was an old Standard deck with some new cards in it, and it didn't really keep up with the format. But this list was lifted from a deck dump, and Akratos has been working on it. We also did a coaching session where we worked on the deck together. So I know this one can win games of Legacy. We've seen it happen. The engine here is, of course, Greater Good, sacrifice a creature, draw cards equal to that creature's power, then discard 3 cards. What Greater Good asks you to do in deck building is sacrifice creatures with more than 3 power, thus gaining you card advantage. Rusty Old Phyrexian Dreadnought, who keeps showing up in new and exciting places these days, is a 1-mana 12/12, which is a draw 12, discard 3 with Greater Good, and you don't care about the trigger because it's already drawn you 9 cards, plus 3 additional cards worth of selection. You should be able to figure out how to win the game from there, even if this 12/12 doesn't stick around. The next one probably will. Uro does the same thing. You can cast the front half of Uro, which isn't going to stay in play anyway, and then draw 6, discard 3 after you draw one and put a land into play, or before you draw one and put a land into play. If you want to use those 6 cards you just drew to find the land to put into play, you can stack that however you want. And all of this is tucked into a very normal looking Rug mid-range kind of Legacy deck. For Urza Saga, we've got the Dreadnought Urza Saga package that we've seen, 4 dress downs, 2 stifles. You can just ram Dreadnoughts into play and kill your opponent if that's what's going on. You could settle into an Uro grind if that's what's going on. This is very much like the Rug Maxtortion deck, except instead of Minsk and Boo as our 4-drop of choice, we have Greater Good, which takes the deck in a totally different kind of direction, while also doing kind of the same thing, which is a 4-drop that puts the foot on the gas. Just we've chosen to do this 4-drop instead of Minsk and Boo for this build. What I like about this deck is that it doesn't need Greater Good. It just goes into Insano Overdrive if you have one. And it pressures early. Saga is early pressure. Dreadnought Stifle or Dress Down Dreadnought are early pressure. Uro is late game pressure. And then right down the middle, in between the early game and the late game, you have Greater Good that you could try to resolve in the mid game. And your opponent just has to deal with whatever that does for a while. And if they counter this, that's a counter they don't have for the next Dreadnought. I'm pretty excited about this deck. I have been ever since Akratos first showed it to me, and I'm excited that I finally get to record with it. Let's go do this thing. This is Greater Good Dreadnought. I'm on the draw in round number 1. No Dreadnoughts in sight, but I have Force Blue card and some ways to draw cards. I'm in. I do have the 1 of Chrome Mox that's in the deck for when you need to tutor something with Urza Saga and you don't have a Dreadnought ready. Or if you're desperate for mana, like your land's about to die. This is sort of an eject valve. It's not really meant to accelerate in the way that a Stompy deck would use it. Not really a card you want in your opening hand a lot of the time. But here it is, and we're going to make it work. Looks like we're playing against some lands. Double Mox Diamond start. My god. This Soul Guide Lantern's probably going to be good here, though. I expect a Loam right now. Yeah, that's... Okay. There is an option on the table here. I can force the Loam and then Soul Guide Lantern hit the Loam, or I could let them have the Depths and the Bog, save my force and my blue card. Dress Down's really good against Saga. I do care about Bajuka Bog a little bit. Yeah, I'm just going to use the Lantern to pick off Loam and save my Force. Exploration. That's fine because I'm gonna eliminate the Loam. I know their last card in hand is Bojuka Bog, and there's really nothing going on here. I think there is one basic island in the list. Yeah, there is. I'm gonna go for that here. It doesn't cast this Expressive Iteration, which is a bummer, but I don't want to get sent backwards by a random top deck Wasteland, and they are fully in top deck mode right now. If they find a stage, I'm in trouble. There's the Bog. I have crop rotation covered because I didn't force the Loam. I can answer the next Loam by activating Soul Guide Lantern. Okay, Urza Saga, what's up? Ponder. I don't need another Saga. I will take these additional blue cards. Okay, Saga gets me to Dreadnought, which I have the dress down for. Opponent said in the chat, classic Island Soul Guide keep. You better believe it. All right, there's Slow Thawing Depths. We've got 9 more turns before we're facing a Merit Lage. Uh-oh, Saga game. That's all right. My dress down is actually not going to time out or like pace out in a way that I'm happy with here. Yeah, if I want Dreadnought, then my dress down won't mop up any other Saga tokens. I could just engage in a Saga token fight, but literally Dreadnought is the only thing to tutor for left. Because Soul Guide's in play, Chrome Mox is in my hand, and those are all the hits. Well, oh no. I was gonna say if I dress down in the end step, Saga is the next card on top of my deck too, isn't it? Yeah, it is actually. Okay, so I'm just gonna commit to a Saga battle here and walk them into dress down, and I'll get Dreadnought on the next round. Okay, they're making a Saga in response, so I don't get Pithing Needle. I'm actually just going to fail to find. I don't even want a Dreadnought in my graveyard. Just leave them in there. Drop the next Saga. Their tokens are bigger than mine, but not for long. I think it's time to Chrome Box. This gives me the dress down before they can equip Shadow Spear and lets me get one attack through. Continue the slow thawing. They're up to 6 mana. They can take 2 tokens off. Gonna have to beat that thing somehow. Their Sagas pop in here. Do they have an Expedition map? That would actually be really good. What's in my deck that can answer a Merit Lage? I can basically chump it and go around it. Are my options. I don't have a bounce spell. There's no Otawara, no Brazen Borrower. I can gain life and try to ignore it with Uro. Dress down makes it blockable. They do have Expedition map. That's bad for me. Yeah, I am going to block. My plan is to dress down all this stuff away anyway. So no rush here. And I'm going to draw a card with Soul Guide Lantern. Didn't they have another land drop? They could have mapped and played stage and showed me Dark Depths right now. All right, deck, I need a Stifle. Another Dreadnought. I'm not upset about that. If I put Uro in now, yeah, if I'm unable to dress down, that's a problem. I think I need to brainstorm here. Extremely interested in finding a Stifle. Oh, I found a Stifle. Let's go. Okay, I can Stifle the Expedition map, cast dress down, and then play 3 Dreadnoughts next turn. I put back EI and one of the Dreadnoughts. I will draw it before. Yeah, I'll draw it off the dress down. Okay, cool. Got a Fade Blast Zone, I guess. Stifle this. Get it out. They get to crunch me for 4 here. I'll chump with the one that's available for chumping. And then we have a giant dress down turn. End step, dress down. Opponent just asked if this is legal in the same deck as Urza Saga. Saga's not there for the constructs, is the secret here. Okay, Saga ticks up. Float a colorless. Tutor up Dreadnought. Play Dreadnought. Play Dreadnought. And I'm just going to chill with this Force of Will and Brainstorm back up. I don't need to do anything else right now. Okay, they just cold called the Blast Zone. Please don't do it. All right, they didn't rip the Blast Zone. Crop rotation, I had the Force for. Yeah, we just got very lucky that Soul Guide Lantern was in the opener there. I like Force of Negation. I like Surgical. I like Pithing Needle. Hydroblast, Pyroblast. Hydroblast might find a target, but I'm not in a hurry for that. Run Afoul does kill Merit Lage. Endurance blocks Merit Lage while messing with Loam. I could do a lot here. I have to decide how much I actually am going to do, though. Force of Vigor also has text against this deck. They're a Saga deck, they're an Exploration deck, etc. Possibly 7 cards here. Lightning Bolt, I don't need. Misdirection changes the target of spells, not abilities. If I could misdirect Wasteland, I'd probably be more interested in this, but as it is, I'm not. There are targets for a Braid in the deck. Minor Misstep can counter Crop Rotation or Exploration or Mox Diamond. That sounds really good, actually. I don't think I want the Chromox in the deck here. It wasn't bad that game, but it wasn't really good either. They're going to have Bojuka Bog and Caracas. I can shave on Uro a little bit. I got to go Dreadnought on them. I can shave 1 Force. I'm bringing in Force of Negation and a bunch of stuff that lines up against their deck directly. And I think this is a matchup where Greater Good is actually good, because they don't have counter spells. If they do, it's Red Blast, which doesn't hit Greater Good. Got the Soul Guide Lantern in the opener again. Good start. I'm going to keep Island Ponder and Island Soul Guide. Starting on Wasteland. Not bad. Expedition Map. You know about Stifle. It's not going to work twice. Get my basic island set up here. Force of Will, Endurance. And a land. I actually like this whole pile. Force of Will stops any Turbo Cheese nonsense from occurring. The Endurance pressures their graveyard eventually. The land gets me ahead of this Wasteland. This is the first test. Do I want them exploring? Do I think my hand can beat? I mean, with map already in play, I'm actually just going to force this exploration. Without the map, I think I let that resolve and just bet my hand against their last 3 cards, but them being able to get whatever they want from the rest of the deck is bad. Okay, I can give up Taiga to abrade this expedition map before it's usable, or I can hang Saga out there, and if they just crack, then I don't even get mana. I'm going to abrade the map. Not often you get to do that, and I'm going to take it. This might put them in a position where they need Wasteland for mana. And if they fire off Wasteland on the Taiga, I get to play Saga and then start using it rather than get that picked off. Okay, they had Stage, and they could have tutored Depths, so glad I didn't fire off on that. Saga, get in there. And I'll play the Lantern. It's passive Graveyard Hate if I need that, and it draws a card if I need that. If they just play Dark Depths here directly from their hand, I'm going to have to figure this out with Endurance. Emergency meeting. Okay. Well, I guess I'm drawing a card with Soul Guide Lantern. Emergency meeting indeed. Braid doesn't help here. Okay, they're making Merit Lage right now. Playing around Stifle. Yeah, I guess if I had tapped my other mana, leaving up blue, maybe they wait. Okay, I'm going to have to Endurance them, Chump Block, and just hope. Fetch for any green source here. Tropical Island is the only one. I will Endurance them in case they have Loam. They have their whole combo just waiting in the graveyard for the next round. They have a Crop Rotation here, I lose. If they can kill Endurance, I lose. Okay, they do have Crop Rotation. Is there a Sajiri Step in the deck? Okay, sure. Okay, yeah, they just straight lined right to Merit Lage, which is the weakness in this matchup. I have my 2 Run Afouls and didn't get to buy a turn to play to them. Okay. Is there anything I'd want to cut to get Force of Will back in the deck? I think I'm going to cut a Greater Good. Yeah, just keeping myself from getting cheesed makes a lot of sense. I don't mind the lands half of the deck that much. I do mind the Merit Lage half of the deck. I'll keep this hand. This is turn 3 Dreadnought with Force backup. No Soul Guide Lantern, though, which I've grown accustomed to having in my opener. Seiju from hand. That's distressing. I'm going to force the exploration, losing Uro. Step 1 is always that. Okay, now I can answer Merit Lage. I'm going to pass and hope they don't have Wasteland. Versus Saga, okay. I'm already exposed to Wasteland. I'm just going to get a Tropical Island here. And step Dress down. For my own Saga, cool. Second wave is coming. Saga, trigger, play Dreadnought. Only one this time. Really shattered. They could get Maze of Ith. They could have another Boseiju. Last Zone is in the deck. Thespian Stage. That's going to be too slow. Drew Trop played it and attack. Looks like they want to absorb one of this damage, or they're just F6 and don't care. Yeah, that was just F6 value. We know that Saga can tutor map. I don't know if they have enough mana to map and execute a win here. They could map for Blast Zone, but they won't have enough to activate Blast Zone this turn. They could map for Boseiju. 1, 2. Yeah, if they float colorless, have a land drop, they can get Boseiju here and use it. If that's even the plan at all. Maybe they have a different plan. They went for Mox Diamond. Okay, that's interesting. Discarded a Dark Depths. They have another Depths. Okay. So they're going for being bigger than me. Mana Bond, yikes. Okay. Alright. That's scary. They're making Merit Lage right now. Okay, I could Surgical Dark Depths, see what's going on in their hand, and then determine if my Run Afoul will win me the game. Or Stage is probably better than Depths. I'm going to Surgical Stage, just to look at their hand and figure out what's going on. They did have a Stage in hand, let's go. 2 Loams and a Red Blast. Okay, we win. This Mana Bond was bait. I guess it's not really bait, it was just the play that they had. I will run you afoul. Sacrifice a flying creature. You're gonna braid your Mox Diamond for good measure. Or they just scooped it up before I could even cast the Abrade. They won't know till they watch the video that I had all that. GG's opponent. On to the next round. If you've ever wanted to learn how to play poker, there's no better way than PokerCoaching.com's Master the Fundamentals course, which I'm excited to give all of you for free. This course is separated into 19 short sections that will make sure you understand everything you need to know to play well and beat your friends. The first section is on the rules of the game, then you'll learn about hand ranges, equity, basic strategies, and a whole lot more. By the end of the course, you'll know everything you need to know in order to give you the best chance of success at No Limit Hold'em. Check out the link in the video description to PokerCoaching.com/free crash course. On the draw for round 2 with a sad only Urza Saga hand, I'm going to send this. Okay, this hand is a party. I think I'm going to bottom a Braid. Stifle can pay out the Saga with a Dreadnought. Of course, is always something I want in my hand, and I hate just being dead to Wasteland. So, the Braid is the least important card to my plan. If they go, Delver, I'm going to regret my decision. I got from the opponent. What's going on here? Green Sun Zenith. Okay. Is this Maverick? Red Maverick? I drew a Braid anyway. Get wrecked, nerds. I'm gonna Misty Rainforest pass. I don't need to ponder here because my hand already does enough, and the Stifle might be good. They are just passing through their turn, play to land go. Deal. I'm gonna play Urza Saga. And I think I Abrade this Dryad Arbor. If they didn't give me the Stifle, now I'm gonna take the removal spell. Okay, they are playing around Stifle. That's why they didn't fetch. Oh, this is some sort of 4-color pile. I'm gonna get Oppo Agented. Yikes. Good thing I have Force of Will. We were playing a game of cat and mouse that I didn't even know about. Volcanic Island and Abrade your Arbor. That might be an aggressive Abrade now that I know Oppo Agent is a thing that they play. Let's see how this shakes out. Got 4-color stuff over there. 4-color magic cards. I don't like that Wasteland. I would have gone after the Volcanic Island myself. Because if you hit the Volcanic Island, then I can't make constructs out of the Saga. Saga will just die. I'll get the tutor, but otherwise it doesn't matter that much. Okay, sweet. Press down Dreadnought, land. That's the good stuff. I can stifle another Wasteland and execute my combo on the next turn. Outland Liberator. Are you shitting me? Alright, I'm going to need Stifle after all. Okay, I'm drawing Dreadnought right now. And I can't shove it in because my opponent will destroy it with this card that they drew. Now it's nighttime. Okay, Trap Breaker is attacking. No targets for it currently. End step, I'm going to dress down. Be mega sad. Hopefully I just draw like a Ponder underneath the land. Then I can double spell, it becomes daytime, and the Stifle is actually good instead of bad. This is a pivot too. I could just shove Uro into play as a 6/6. That's got to be better than just being dead to an attack trigger. I'll get Taiga to round out all my colors. They are a white deck with 5 cards in their hand. Guess I'll just hope it doesn't contain Swords to Plowshares. Or they don't draw the land for Prismatic Ending. Easily have the plow. And exactly this card, such a tilt. 8 bear decks. When they get you, it always looks bad. Noble Hierarch. Now they're attacking for 4, and they have some mana under them. Can't even just float Greater Good into play because they're in Trap Breaker. Jesus Christ. This is an outrage against justice. Maybe I shouldn't have fired off that Abrade. Who knows what horrifying 3-drops are awaiting in their hand, but still, that Abrade feels bad. Blue-red. I'm going to try to find a Lightning Bolt here. Okay, well, Dress Down in hand, Soul Guide Lantern on the bottom, Exile Saga, play Saga. I have to Dress Down in my end step. That way, their whole turn is turned off. They don't get to attack trigger, they don't get to tap Noble Hierarch for mana. Also daytime because I cast 2 spells. Really, this doesn't flip back if it doesn't have the ability. I guess Nightbound is an ability, huh? So this gets to be a 3/3 for this turn until Dress Down goes away, then it immediately realizes it's daytime. If they cast a spell here and keep it daytime, then my Stifle line still doesn't play because now I don't have a way to put Dreadnought in. Beats. It's daytime until my turn, then it's immediately nighttime again. Dreadnought. I have a Brainstorm to try to make something happen here. Hopefully what I make happen is daytime. Brainstorm. Let's get rid of these Dreadnoughts that I'm not ready for. Okay, I found Lightning Bolt. Sweet relief. I'm going to put back these Greater Goods. I don't need 2 of that, that's for sure. Play my land. Lightning Bolt this stupid werewolf that's been ruining my life. They can sack it to kill Urza's Saga, which is fine. I'll float colorless. Lightning Bolt fizzles, and then I get a Dreadnought. This is the Stifle version of Dreadnought. If they have another plow, at least I gain 12 life and can start to figure it out against this creature deck. Stifle that. Okay, there's a Dreadnought in play now. Greater Good on top of my deck. They didn't plow. 4 mana available. You know this is a Zenith deck. Prismatic Ending, even worse. They don't get the life. So their black source, they tap their black source. I don't have to think about opposition agent this turn. Right of the Reliquary, okay. That's a large animal. I'm gonna draw Greater Good. A fetch for another tropical island. I'm just leaning in on non-basics. And hope they don't have another Prismatic Ending right now. So I'm ready to party next turn. Just attacking for 6, okay. This is either excellent or terrifying. Either they just don't have a better plan here, or they can answer Greater Good. No, they have me on a 2-turn clock. Am I getting Temur Battle Raged? What's happening right now? They're certainly spending mana in combat before damage. They have some way to sack all their lands and make this lethal. That's not even, doesn't add up to 12. Okay, change their mind. We're in the main phase again. There are not 4 colors of mana in this pool. May or may not matter. This looks like Zenith. What's the answer? We have another Liberator. I hate this deck. Bullshit. And they wisely didn't even use the Liberator. They didn't even just fire it off. They're like, yeah, let's put Dreadnought on this deck first. Okay. This deck seems like my natural enemy. Hunting me, personally. Gotta figure out how to beat shitty little creatures that specifically answer what I'm doing. Soul Guide Lantern. It's fine. Greater Good's fine. Misdirection. They did show me Swords to Plowshares and Prismatic Ending. Maybe I don't want Misdirection. Endurance. Torpor Orb is not what I want here. Honestly, I don't have a lot to sideboard. Pithing Needle can name Outland Liberator, but if it flips, it has a different name. That's so annoying. Minor Misstep looks good. I got the Chrome Mox. Suspect I'll be doing that a lot. And I'm going to go down to 2 Greater Good because they've shown me they can beat the hell out of that. Yep, this is what I got. Let's try it. I'll keep this hand. I can interact with creatures. Not going to lose on the spot to Wasteland. Just going to Volcanic Island Ponder. I've got lands. I'm not worried about Wasteland. These are all good cards. I'll keep them. Minor Misstep in my hand. That can protect a Dreadnought. And I have the setup for the turn 3 Dreadnought with Minor Misstep backup. Iga, Zenith. Wish I could misstep that. I could if I had mana. But I don't. Just gonna Volcanic Island go. That casts a Braid or Dress Down as necessary. If Dress Down's in play, I don't have to worry about Opposition Agent. And if they Zenith for the Werewolf, I can just abrade it. They could Pyroblast my Dress Down in response to Dreadnought. Misstep protects from that too, though. Sylvan Library. Boy, do I hate that card. It resolves, though. They conveniently left up Pyroblast. Let's hope they go for the blowout of destroying Dress Down. Sweet. Dreadnought. And I'm going to Lightning Bolt the Arbor. Try to constrict their options here. And I'll pass with my Misty Rainforest still up. I don't care if they Opposition Agent. I can fetch in response. And they have to act first. They have Swords to Plowshares with Pyroblast backup. Then they've been extremely patient on this Pyroblast, and they deserve the exchange they're going to get. They have Uro to follow up. They took 0 extra cards off Sylvan Library. Someone's feeling good right now. If they play Werewolf and activate it, I don't have any answer to that. Zenith for Werewolf. They're not dead. They take 12, untap, and then kill my thing, but I have a Braid, so they actually are dead if they do that. Zenith for 2, okay. They could be setting up a next turn Werewolf, which is why they took 0 cards. All right, yep. Got it. I'm ready with the Abrade on this one. I think I want to end step Brainstorm. It's not something I normally do, but I think this game is going to end quickly, like before I can get full value out of a Brainstorm. Greater Good and Lightning, and Soul Guide Lantern can chill. I'll make my attack first. When it goes to 7, and then I will Parade the Outlander. Sucks I didn't find a land here. Leave up Bolt and Misstep. If they take an extra card off Library, they die to Bolt. Still didn't take any extra cards. Minor Misstep, this Swords to Plowshares. 2 cards left over there. They do have Pyroblast. Okay. Go to 31 life. They're 1 card in hand. I start doing Uro stuff, and if they ever take an extra card to Sylvan Library, they die to my Bolt. There's a hesitation with Uro on the stack, like they're deciding if they want to Pyroblast this. Okay. Aggressive. I don't dislike it. They know what's on top of their deck right now. They put it there last turn, and they didn't shuffle it away with Windswept Heath. They must like it. Please take an extra card and die. Still not taking any extra cards. They probably recognize that I'm a Lightning Bolt deck. I would love to rip my land to play Uro. Please don't choke me. That would be bad. This looks like a Zenith. Okay, Zenith it is. They have something saucier than Knight of the Reliquary. Do they have... Okay, Endurance works. Force of Will. Don't really want that. Soul Guide Lantern. Exile. I don't know that this even matters. Yes, I'll take Outland Liberator. And I do want to draw a card. Right away. Okay. Kind of sputtering here. Need them to get reckless with their Sylvan Library. But 1 card at a time is doing what it needs to do right now. Sensei's Divining Top over there. Drew another Zenith. Just keeping the goods coming. Outland Liberator ready for my next thing. On Lightning Bolt off the top. Ugh. This sucks so hard. Okay. Pass the turn. I need these 28 life points to hold for a while. I can stifle a Wasteland. I can force something that's gonna straight up kill me. If I need to, I can bolt the Trap Breaker. I'd rather save this bolt for their face. Opponent is playing extremely well. I will absolutely give them that. And you have to play well if you register decks like this. You have to know exactly what every deck is capable of and how your little shitters can stay ahead of it. Even just a land, like a green source, is great. Okay, now I could put Endurance in front of the Trap Breaker, and we can make a game out of this. Yeah, that's a game changer. An Endurance exiling their Werewolf, or Soul Guide Lantern exiling their Werewolf means it's not in their deck for the next Greenstone Zenith after I Endurance them. Here's Endurance. It's in combat, so if they're going to plow, I get life back. I think I force a plow here. They're down to 2 cards in hand. If it's force Pyroblast, or plow Pyroblast, I guess you got me. Go into blocks, eat this Werewolf. Okay, they are now dead on board to my Endurance plus Bolt. They don't know about Bolt, but they've been playing like I have it for the whole game. So we know they respect it. Dramatic Ending, leaving up red. I'm going to force this. I'm going to try to push my win right now. If they have Pyroblast, then they're back to Hellbent, and I can resolve Greater Good. Okay, that's fine. Back to Hellbent, I can resolve Greater Good. We're in there with that. They're empty at 6 life. I'm hopefully about to draw 12 at 18 life. We've been through 2 Outland Liberators. I don't know how many they play. Inskin Boo. Okay, that doesn't beat me this turn. Did tap out of Bolt, which could have killed it. But I'm about to draw 12, and hopefully somewhere in there's another Lightning Bolt. There's a Saga. I could play that. I'm going to need colorless mana this turn anyway. Okay, let's draw 12. Sacrifice this creature. Draw 12 and discard 3. Discard Saga, fetch land. Didn't find another Bolt, but I did find Uro, which can make a land drop, draw another 6 cards, and find Bolt. Blue, green. Oh wait, I guess this trigger has to resolve first, doesn't it? Resolves. Okay, now I can Uro. Green, blue, colorless. Uro trigger. I'm going to trigger Uro first. Have the land anyway. Another Uro in my hand. I don't know that that's helpful, but Greater Good. We're going off here. Found the Bolt. Okay. And discard backup Greater Good. Then just double Bolt with force backup. Well, that certainly won the game. Cha-chow, Exaxes. That was sick. I'm feeling this deck. I like it a lot. Hydroblast just went up now that we know about Minskin Boo and Pyroblast. There's a good chance this deck has Choke in it. And we saw Sylvan Library. I'm thinking about if I want Force of Vigor. And if so, where do I put it? Already not sure where I'm going to put this Hydroblast. Might be over one of the Uros. Yeah, I don't think I have room for Force of Vigor. There's just no more cards I want to cut. It would probably be Misdirection. But Misdirection protects me from Pyroblast and Swords to Plowshares. Yeah, I'm doing it like this. I'm going to keep this hand. It's not going fast, but we've learned that this matchup isn't about going fast. At least not for me. Because they're very good at stuffing that aggression. Also very good at turn 1 Zenith for Dryad Arbor. If only I were on the play with this Stifle. Sad times. Okay. Using a Precious Lightning Bolt on this, but I don't want them jumping out to 3 mana and doing all the cool stuff that they do. I will use the Bolt. I have Force of Will as a backstop here. And just no play on turn 2. Give me that. There's a Saga. Let's go. Still Force of Will chilling here. I can do the Uro trick also next turn if I want, which is play Uro, it'll land into play, that land, and stifle the Uro death trigger. But against a deck with both Pyroblast and white removal, I'm not going to be that aggressive. Just saying it's there. If I were ever so inclined. The Scrib Ranger can be a 3rd mana if they need it to be. All right, they are using their land as, or they are using Scrib Ranger as a land drop. I'm gonna force Knight of the Reliquary. That thing can turn this game on its ear, and getting multiple activations out of it with Scrib Ranger does extra when I'm about to start doing Uro stuff. And I will use a fetch land first. I'll get Taiga just in case they do have choke. Found another Force of Will. No blue card to go with it. But this is a requisite number of mana sources to escape Uro next turn. Maybe I should have played the fetch land here to respect opposition agent. Okay, I'm gonna float. That Force of Will was probably my best draw in the whole universe. Okay, I can Pithing Needle this Windswept Teeth right now. Get him with the gotcha. I'm gonna do that. But I'm slipping on Amateur Knight. And then I'm gonna Uro. Pitch cast Endurance here. It's annoying. Okay, we're past that. Tropical Island. Green, blue, blue. Leaving Lightning Bolt in my graveyard in case I Endurance myself at some point. That's the best card in there. I'm going to force this. I think this Uro is going to be really good. And I'm pushing my advantage right now. It will at least replace itself, or at least replace the Force of Will. Another land, get in. All right, send it. Hope that this mana denial strategy of Bolt the Dryad Arbor, Windswept Teeth, Needle the Windswept Teeth, hope this holds up. They can Prismatic Ending here. Okay, they Prismatic Endinged the Needle instead of the Uro. That's really interesting. Let's just have another answer to that ready. That's the only thing that makes sense here. Or they could do both. Well, that works. Sure. Right, so I resolve a Greater Good this turn and hope that the top of my deck is Phyrexian Dreadnought. Or I could just go back into Uro Town. But Uro's much better with the Greater Good in play. Here's this. Setting up big things for next turn. At 24 life, I can dance around for a little while. Ranger's attacking. Oh my goodness. Get to do a little of everything here. Okay, I'm gonna Dreadnought first. Or I'm actually gonna Uro first. So here's the thing. By Uroing first, I play around them removing Greater Good. By Dreadnoughting first, I play around Pyroblast, which stops my party from even starting. Okay, this time I'm gonna eat Uro first, because I'd like to make a land drop off the Uro trigger. Discard 3 cards. I don't need this Misty Rainforest, or this Dress Down, or I'm pretty far away on these Lightning Bolts, actually. But I want to go 0 Lightning Bolt and just power Dreadnoughts into play. That's probably the way to go. Yeah, I'll discard these bolts, and I have exactly enough to press down Dreadnought. Tropical Island in. Fetch. I'm not worried about opposition agent because my plan is to dress down this turn anyway. Endurance, same thing. Dress down the Endurance, they don't get to take my Uro. And then I just play Dreadnought anyway. And the Dreadnought, even if they can remove it with their 2 cards in hand, is another draw 12. The engine's online. Battle Cruiser operational. Just gotta be careful not to deck myself. 32, I should be fine. Endurance. That's actually fine. It puts all my Lightning Bolts back in the deck where I can draw them. With both players Endurancing each other, that's why I left the good cards in the graveyard on that early Uro escape. Now 40 cards on my deck. I'm at no risk of decking myself. I'm going to attack first. That's the easy part. And then I'm going to EI. If I can find another Dress Down or Stifle, I'd rather do that than just draw cards here. The Endurance to hand. Saga to the bottom. Exile Saga. Saga's my land for turn. Fetching in response right now. For it. I'll go for a draw 12 here. I want to push my advantage. Sacrifice the new one. Got to be careful not to resolve the trigger in a way that kills me here. This land, I've already made a land drop. Hydroblast actually looks good. Second Dreadnought, more Dress Downs. That's what I need. Force of Will, I'll keep. Minor Misstep, I'll keep. This is a lot of Endurance and a lot of Dress Down. I'm going to say no to this trigger, because then I would be keeping the one that's already dead alive, which is not how Magic works. And Dress Down deploys another Dreadnought, or 2. One will win the game, and I have multiple pieces of 1 mana removal or interaction, so I'm not gonna fire off the extra Dreadnought here. I have Force Misstep or Force Hydroblast to win this game with. It would need like Blast Zone. And even then, I can draw 12 in response, try to find a Stifle, and save the other Dreadnought, which is enough. Zenith for 2. I'll force pitching Brainstorm. That can get the Werewolf and kill one of the Dreadnoughts. If they fight back, I'll Misstep or Hydroblast their spell. Alright, we did it. That was a brutal game 1. They were heavily main decked for this sort of bullshit, and then sideboard cards and knowing what to play around paid off in the sideboard games. Let's roll. This deck rules. This video is sponsored by Moxfield.com, the easiest way to build Magic decks online. Moxfield supports over 30 formats, including Legacy and every other format you'll see on this channel. They have multiple customizations so you can view your deck how you want. Text view, stacks, grid, custom grouping by type, subtype, color, light mode, dark mode. However you want to see your deck, they can provide it for you. My favorite feature is you can choose your set printing, make the deck look exactly how you want it to. The deck screen features expandable sections that show you what tokens your deck makes, your recent change history to the deck, stats about mana curve and opening hand distribution, mana cost distribution. You can deal out sample hands and even play test the deck. Island Ponder. You know I'm keeping this one. This site has everything. Follow me on Moxfield.com to keep up with decks I'm playing for the channel and what I'm up to in paper. I'll see you there. I'm on the play for round 3 with a nice little land drops and card selection hand. We got Dreadnought if we find a payoff. There are more payoffs in the deck than there are Dreadnought, so we got the right half here. That might be the wrong way to think about it, actually. Does Stifle and Dress Down interact with my opponent in isolation where Dreadnought doesn't? Yeah, I think I'd rather have Stifle in my hand than Dreadnought in an opener. Mountain Go. Okay. What is this? Red Stompy Goblins? Well, I drew Dress Down, so it's all good, whatever it is. I'm going to play Tropical Island and pass. If they Blood Moon, I can fetch the basic and drop a Dreadnought on them. I can EI with a Blood Moon in play. Grinosphere. Shit. That one's much worse for me. I'll Brainstorm in response. Okay, I'll Uro my way out of this. And then set up a future turn where I can Dreadnought multiple times. I'm going to put back the 2 Dreadnoughts. And I'm going to have to work the hard way through this Trinisphere. I'll take one of these Dreadnoughts now. Not even sure if that's right, though. That's a 6 mana play to get it off the ground. Am I even going to do that, ever? Uro. I'll put the fetch land in. That's just more material for Uro on a faster clock. I do have 6 mana around now. There is a someday Dress Down situation available. Shit. That's my only basic in the deck. So, resolves. Did that in the correct order that doesn't kill them. I can EI and try to hit a land drop here. Yeah, I'm not really doing anything else. That's all I can do with an EI. Okay. Brainstorm to hand Dreadnought to the bottom, exile land, and make the land drop. Just gotta hope one Dreadnought beats what's left in their hand. 3-drop. Okay, War Boss I can beat with a Dreadnought. Saga doesn't work with Dress Down in play, don't do it. Or with Blood Moon in play. Drew another Dress Down. Unfortunately, I've deleted multiple Dreadnoughts that were in my hand, so I don't have a second wave ready right now. The rest of them are in the deck somewhere. But I hope this one's good enough. Chromox is in the deck. That's another colored source if it needs to come up. I'd have to just draw it and then pay 3 mana for it, but it can unlock spells if we get there. They have a Fable. Gonna eat one of these goblins for free here. And then they get 2 draws off the Fable plus their draw step. They look at 3 cards to decide who wins this match. Come on, another Dreadnought? Didn't draw another Dreadnought. My deck does have Lightning Bolt in it. I'm gonna EI again. There's Lightning Bolt. Ponder to hand. That's better than Uro in this spot. Exile Bolt. Play a land, and I'll attack. Okay, do I want to put them to 1? I think I do. Putting them to 1 makes any Bolt lethal. And the goblins are not going to race me. Yeah, this turns on Ponder for Lightning Bolt as an out. He discarded 2 cards. One of them is Squee, who can come back from the graveyard. But they need to exile some cards, right? 4 other cards. Yeah, it actually can't come back this turn. This doesn't look like 21 damage to me. Dreads. Daddy Dreads getting it done. Force of Vigor, obviously. Hydroblast, Force of Negation. Those are the cards for this matchup. And Misdirection does very little. Unless they board in Pyroblast, which is the thing they can do. Minor Misstep is in the same boat. And Soul Guide Lantern, they don't. Well, we just saw that Squee, but for the most part, they don't use their graveyard. Yeah, that's it. That's the game plan. Let's go. Okay, Forest Dreadnought basic land. Done deal. They're on 6. Mountain, go. Love it. Another Dreadnought. Don't love that so much. I'll love it when I find the dress down. Chrome Mox happens. Pitched a Blood Moon. Going for Trinisphere. I'm going to force this pitching a Brainstorm. I'd like to get full value out of my other Brainstorm rather than just firing one off now. Got the fetch land, rewarded with that. Yeah, I'd like to get rid of this Greater Good, and I guess this Tropical Island can chill. I can Abrade under Blood Moon. They have a follow-up. Also Abrade that creature. I'm just going to fetch for a Volcanic Island and let this pass through the turn. Another Abrade, cool. Okay, I'll just kill this Goblin this turn. And then I can EI next turn looking for more action. Table, sure. Kill Rebel Master in response. Now that I know, I don't need to worry about doing anything else before combat. Another Den of the Bugbear. 1 more mana source, and that's active. Gotta watch out for that one. I'd like to dress down and cantrip into a land. Oh, okay. It's live. I'm gonna dress down and cantrip into a land. You're halfway there. Tropical Island, Dreadnought. And I can send another one down the cannon next turn. The best thing I can do here is just kill my opponent. Abrade the Goblin Gem. That's not what we're doing here. EI looking for removal. Who cares? Just kill your opponent. They kept one of the cards in their hand. That's mildly concerning. No attacks. All right. Okay. Let's see what they do about the first Dreadnought, and then I'll unload the other 2. Here comes this. And my opponent just took 12. This spot's a little more interesting. They had 2 cards in their hand when Fable triggered, and only discarded 1. And then they didn't make a land drop or play a spell. What's going on here? I think I actually want to Expressive Iteration this time. If I can find Force of Will, then I'm just not worried about anything. Okay, Pyroblast is exactly the type of card that would have killed my dress down. And that's what I didn't want to walk into. When your opponent gives you information, use it. Ancient Tomb after not making land drop last turn. So whatever's in their hand was their last turn and they didn't use it. Better Skull Smashing, killing all their own creatures. Style points, I respect it. GG's. Okay, sweet. On to the next one. You come here to level up at Magic. To level up as a software engineer, check out the new YouTube series Dev Better, hosted by the founder of 7 Factor Software and Magic player, Jeremy Duvall. 7 Factor's small teams of high-performing engineers build custom mobile apps, APIs, and highly scalable systems for Fortune 500 companies and ambitious startups with great ideas. If you'd like to hire 7 Factor, or maybe join their team, contact them through their website at 7factor.io. And don't forget to subscribe to 7 Factor's YouTube for every episode of Dev Better. I'm on the play in round 4 with one of the most exciting hands we've seen. Keep this all day. I get to minor misstep their first play and set up a multiple Dreadnought turn. Or if I want to go faster, I could just play 1 Dreadnought and be happy with that. Prismatic Vista, okay. Urza Saga and minor misstep are pretty good against Prismatic Vista decks for the most part. Okay, now I have Force of Will to back this all up. Let's go. The only decision left for me here is 1 Dreadnought next turn or 2 Dreadnoughts on the following turn. If I wait a turn, I can also protect it with Misstep. Okay, JK. I'm getting wasted here. Okay, that's gone. Prismatic Vista Wasteland deck. What have I unleashed on the world? Okay, don't have another Wasteland. How about that? Now I'm actually slightly concerned if they do that again. At least I have Brainstorm this time. Vista's getting cracked. And they're passing the turn. I'm going to go for a dress down here. Done farting around. Dress down resolves, draws Taiga. Opponent knows what time it is. Another dress down for the next round. Dreadnought's coming. Misstep, double force back up. I hope that's enough for 2 attacks. That's the plains. Towards the plowshares. If only I had a plan for that one. Blusterstorm, okay. Had a backup plan. I'm going to force the plow. Pitching, I think Brainstorm. That's how in on this first Dreadnought I am. I love a main deck Blusterstorm though. Good shit. Okay. This is it, folks. All in. Oh no! Okay. Miss. Now I'm in trouble. I went from this hand being fucking sweet to being awful because my opponent has a well-built blue-white control deck. Okay, Dreadnought's in, but land plow just gets it again. Well, they're letting me untap, which means... Oh, okay. No, they're just going to second main. Island Ponder. Okay. I gotta draw another answer right now. Show me a shuffle. Shuffle it up. I chose to shuffle. I need that. Misdirection. That's so close to being another answer. If I only had a blue card and a different target for Swords to Plowshares. Concede. Concede the game. No! Alright, we're gonna keep playing, I guess. Stifle would have beat this. Okay, I'm at 29 to their 5. They have 3 cards in hand to my functional 0. I would like to find an Urza Saga right now. That Flusterstorm was a beating. Hey, I drew the card that I asked for. That's how you win Magic games. Don't have another Wasteland, please. That's so much worse! Okay, we are probably going to lose this one. Okay, what do I have to do here? I have to draw another dress down and pay off this saga with a Dreadnought. Okay, I'm just going to pass with Misdirection blue card in my hand and hope that the top card I draw next turn is dress down or Stifle. Your name Nemesis. Okay, that doesn't matter. I can get Chrome Mox also off this saga. All right, dress down off the top. Let's go. Dress down, Stifle. I'll take either one. Rip it now. Oh, you don't say. Blue, colorless. Dress down with Misdirection blue card backup. We're in there. And True Name is sleeping right now. Phyrexian Dreadnought get in. If they plow this, they lose their Dreadnought. Okay. Or they lose their True Name. And there's Snapcaster in play for a backup plan. Okay. Fingers are crossed. Ace the Mind Sculptor. Shit. I'm going to have to find a force off Brainstorm now. Force of Will. Force of Will. Had to be Jace. Target spell. Yep. This is not an ability. It's a spell. And now I don't think I can win anymore. Alright, GG's. I made a hell of a fight out of that. Okay, Pyroblast coming in. Carpet of Flowers coming in. True Name blue-white. True Name, does that indicate Stoneforge Mystic? Or is it just because initiative is in the metagame? Force of Vigor. A Braid doesn't seem very good here. The Misdirection was almost the right thing. If that was Force of Will, we were in good shape. Lightning Bolt seems medium, but we might need to close the game out. I'm going to shave it a little bit, and then I might come back to shave more. Soul God Lantern, we did see Snapcaster Mage. I don't think this is a deck that can beat Greater Good, but I would like to be ahead of it. Like, I'd rather cut a Greater Good and find that in the correct situation than cut, like, an Uro, which is always fine. Veil of Summer. That could be good. That beats Flusterstorm cleanly. I think I like that better than Misdirection. So Misdirection against the Plow deck, but then there has to be another creature in play. I'm actually cutting the Soul Guide Lantern is a payoff for Urza Saga if I'm not ready to dress down. Endurance is just a card I can play that is reasonable on the board. I think I like that better than Soul Guide Lantern. 1 Lightning Bolt. I'd probably prefer 2, but I'm actually just off Chrome Mox again. Give me my Soul Guide Lantern back. That's my alternate backup for Urza Saga. There's some discussion to be had about Surgical as well. We saw Snapcaster, and if you can take all the plows out of the deck, that's half the spells that you're worried about gone. I'm going to run the Saga out, and I'm going to try to go for a fast Dreadnought, and then maybe get a setup for the second one. They had the Wasteland again, sure. Not even going to pretend I can do anything about that. It's gone. 2 Pyroblasts in my hand right now. Going to let Ponder resolve. Going to dress down in the end step, go for Phyrexian Dreadnought, backed by Pyroblast. It doesn't beat a Swords of Plowshares, but it's a 1-for-1 because dress down replaces itself. I'll get Basic Island as a contingency. And do I want to just get Taiga here to round out my colors? Yeah, if I draw a Carpet of Flowers, I want to play it. Dress down. That's in there. Found Uro. Love to find a land drop. Hey, found a land drop. Good one, too. And I'd rather go for Dreadnought than Uro. Uro's draw a card trigger is actually good in this matchup. The first Dreadnought has been presented. Expect a plow here. I don't have a good answer to it. Just going to let him have it, too. I'm not going to brainstorm, try to find force. Saga's in play. Uro's in hand. I'm going to just slow down and try to beat them more on their terms. Pyroblast, this true name. That's done. Saga ticks up. I found Ponder. I didn't really want to brainstorm here, but I will Ponder. I'd like miss the land. Are you shitting me? Okay. I'll shuffle this, try to spike the land for Saga. I got greedy. Well, Saga just got worse. I'd rather push the envelope in those spots than just lose for no reason. Like, you see a land there more often than you don't, and it's by a lot. So advancing your board state and doing the thing you want to do is better than just doing a thing. There's my land right on time. I don't think making a construct here is good. I'm going to tutor the Soul Guide Lantern, exile the Swords to Plowshares, prepared for future Snapcasting. Then Tropical Island can play Uro, leaving up red. Uro trigger, give me another Saga. Immediately plowed that, that's fine. I could have Pyroblasted Uro to put it in the graveyard, but I think that has more life in it yet. I missed the land on Uro. They know I'm holding 5 spells. We'll also Pyroblast this creature. So in my deck full of dress downs, True Name is less scary than it is in normal circumstances. Brainstorm. Start there. Endurance, Greater Good, Force of Vigor. Is Force of Will looking a little awkward with no blue cards to be seen? I'm going to put back Force of Vigor and Lightning Bolt. I'm actually going to do it the other order. Lightning Bolt and Force of Vigor. And I can flash an Endurance this turn. Gotta hope they don't choose this turn to draw back to basics. Stoneforge. Okay, Lightning Bolt's on top of my deck. Or it's under the other thing. I have a Lightning Bolt accessible, is what I'm saying. Stoneforge. Suspicion was correct. Turns out. I'm going to draw a card with Soul Guide Lantern to get to the bolt. Force of Vigor on top, unfortunately. Lightning Bolt, the Stoneforge Mystic, the one I left in the deck. If there's a game 3, I'll bring another one in, at least. They're brainstorming looking for a counterspell here. Flusterstorm still doesn't get there. At the very least, the Brainstorm can get rid of Cauldra if they don't need it anymore. Okay, they let that happen. Whether they could do anything about it or not is a different question. I can expect Cauldra to not be in their hand anymore after that Brainstorm, though. Gonna just delete that from my memory. And go for an Endurance in the end step. They're showing Hardcast Force right now. But I think they would have forced if they had it last turn, unless they're playing Super Patient, which is probably how I would do it too. I guess I don't care about back to basics. I said I was worried about that a second ago, but I'm holding the force of vigor. Going after their graveyard, we have seen Snapcaster. They could snap plow in response. Yep. Still a plow out of the deck. Not worried about it. But they're going for brainstorm instead, sure. They had plow in hand. Okay. And then endurance puts that plow back into their deck. Okay. It's still a plow out of their hand. Get rid of your graveyard, and then I hope to draw a blue card to protect my greater good. Yep. Okay. Time to make the big swing here. This is the engine that this deck can't beat. I've done my early diligence to keep pressure off the board. Oh no. Force pitching Flusterstorm. Okay. Glad to see that Flusterstorm go. Please don't have another. We're in there. All right, folks. Time to get weird. Wasteland can take me off red. If they have another force, they can hard cast it and stop the Dreadnought from arriving. They play Hull Breacher for some ungodly reason. That's a blowout all day. Okay, we're in there. I'll draw 12, please. Okay, we're good. Discard 3 cards. Stifle can be discarded. And I don't need all these lands. I'll discard 2 of these fetch lands. Then the Dreadnought trigger resolves. Then Volcanic Island, Carpet of Flowers. Time to go off. It is my intention to effectively win the game this turn. Move to second main. And I would like to do this. I get 4 mana. I think I want it to be green. I'll make 4 green. And then a blue out of Tropical Island for Uro. I want to draw the cards before the Uro trigger. I'm not sure that I want to put Urza Saga into play here. Found another Uro. I'll put in Trop. Oh, I have to discard 3 cards first. Discard, back up Uro, and yeah, I have plenty of lands at this point. On the other carpet, that's not helpful until next turn. Play this Trop, rest down, and go for a Dreadnought. With a green still floating. For a Veil of Summer, though I suspect they would have countered something if they could by now. And since that green's about to burn off, play the other carpet. I have to discard 2 cards in the end step. Swords to Plowshares. Okay. I can draw another 12 right now. I do have a grip full of endurances. Yeah, I'm actually going to draw 12. Puts me to 3 cards in my deck. Just be 100% gassed up. Discard. Land. Saga. EI. Then Plow resolves. And then I have to let Dress Down die. And then I can pitch cast Endurance, targeting my own graveyard. Make sure I still have a deck to play with next turn. Endurance, pitching another Greater Good. And tuck my graveyard into my deck. And then filter 3 more cards for free. This is just a draw 3, discard 3. Put Uro where I want it, which is the graveyard. I don't think I need Stifle this game. And actually, it's probably just cantrips I should be discarding because my hand is already capable of drawing zillions of cards. Okay, cleanup. I have to discard 9 cards. Probably just going to be all cantrips, like I said. The Dreadnought here. Saga. Backup Dress Down. Backup or EI. And get rid of one of these endurances now. Okay. I probably would have thought about that more if I could actually see it on the Moto screen. But I'm at 41 life. They have 2 cards in their hand. I have Greater Good looping with 2 carpets in play. Okay. I will not use carpet right now. And then I will use the other one. And I'll make blue. That lets me Dress Down and Dreadnought and Uro. I should have Uro'd first. Now it's under Dress Down. I don't actually want it. But it worked out perfectly because I drew another Dreadnought. I think this will be enough. Uro's in my graveyard. I should have Uro'd before I Dress Downed. But I'm kind of playing fast to get this game over because I have to win another one. Green Verdict. Sure, I'll draw 1 billion cards in response. 1, 2, 3. Discard 3 fetch lands. All right, I'm not going to draw with the other one because then I go to 1 card in my deck. Dreadnought's gone. And I have not found another Endurance yet. Next turn's going to be an Uro situation, I think. On my Lightning Bolt again, I'll use the carpets for blue and green. Leave all my lands alone. Uro. Using Uro to control what comes back around a second time here. Here's Uro. If they counter it, I can refire it. Trigger. Put in Saga. And also play Saga for turn with my land drop. And I have all this mana floating. I'm going to have to discard anyway. I'd like to find an Endurance. Back some lands. And what else is going on here? Nothing. Okay. I will just move forward with Uro. Clean up step. Gotta discard 3. How about the lands and the Uro? I guess it would have been better to play the other Uro. Oh, this is not greater good. This is a hand size discard. Lightning Bolt doesn't matter. Don't need this many Force of Wills. Stifle can shut up. I like Dress Down. I guess I don't really need Veil or Force of Vigor anymore. Force of Plowshares. I will put a Force of Will on this. Got this handful of stuff. Might as well use it. Pyroblast Snapcaster. I had Minor Misstep in my hand. Probably should have done that instead of Force. Gotta get used to that card. Alright, they're done. Wait, both of my Endurances were in my graveyard. I was oh no, I did have all 3 in. Okay. I didn't think I was crazy there. Right, that was the way to do that. Lightning Bolt coming in for the Stoneforge half of the deck. I don't want... do I want Torpor Orb? That shuts down Stoneforge and Snapcaster. It also shuts down Endurance, which is a big part of my plan. And the Uro grind is important too, so no, not doing that. The Soul Guide Lantern's not irrelevant. Carpet was insane. Veil let my combo turn go crazy. I think I'm actually going to shave an Uro, which might be weird, but if they bring in Surgical, which a lot of control decks do against Uro, they submitted the 61 card special. Have they been doing that the whole game, or is this new? I like this. This lets me grind. The opponent's got 6 cards to start the game, and a Ponder. Go for it. Goes to Shuffle. Cool. Love that. Gonna get my basic island to start, and I will Soul Guide Lantern the Ponder. Soul Guide Lantern's probably just gonna draw a card as soon as possible, and I wouldn't have played this if they just went land go, but putting a spell in the graveyard that fuels Snapcaster later, I will fire that off. Chose to Shuffle again with Ponder. Oh, they kept the BoshNRoll hand. Island Ponder, no land, Shuffle, Shuffle. And I can present a Dreadnought this turn. Don't find white. Okay. That Wasteland plays, but I still get to put Dress Down in. Brainstorm in response, go for it. That was a weird time to brainstorm. You're about to miss a land drop and brainstorm in the end step instead of now. Right, I'll commit a Tropical Island. It's probably going to get wastelanded, but it's fine. If I had a Force of Will in my hand and I were my opponent, I think Dress Down is the fight, not Dreadnought. See where this goes, though. Minor Misstep, hello. Okay, I'm going to play Dreadnought. In there. That's the hard part. And Minor Misstep is here to protect it now. Found white. Trouble, trouble. Minor Misstep. If they have the Flusterstorm, they get through this. Okay. Bummer, I'll just have to do Uro stuff. So Dress Down replaced itself. Minor Misstep. This was ultimately a 2 for 2, where I gained 12 life. Wasting my green, sure. Makes sense. That Snapcaster is still looming. I'm gonna sit on the Soul Guide Lantern a little longer. I'll get Tropical Island and go for the Uro. Trigger. Uh-oh. All my Uros are in my hand. If they have Surgical, I'm gonna lose my mind. Soul Guide can't exile my own graveyard. Stoneforge Mystic, that's a bummer. I'm at 32 life, though. Okay. Lightning Bolt. Press down. Okay, other Uro, let's go. Keep the hits coming. I can endurance myself in response to surgical if I don't want to lose all my Uros, which I don't. I'm missing land drops here, but so's my opponent. They can do Cauldra stuff, but Uro gains a lot of that life back, and I'm already at 35. Got a lot of time against this Cauldra. And Dress Down knocks all the words off it if I ever just tangle with it with Uro. Killing me smalls. Another Uro. Can I have a land? Nope. Okay. Maybe someday Uro will be in play, but it won't be this day. Opponent's still playing on 2 lands, which means they have 6 spells in their hand. Brainstorm, okay. I don't currently have a good answer to back to basics. That would close the door in a scary way. Found a Tundra, which doesn't shuffle. Green source? No love. Brainstorm, do something, please. Okay, Brainstorm did a big thing. That's good. If I put back Tropical Island and Saga, I can play Saga this turn, and then Uro next turn. And now I have an answer to back to basics, and Veil of Summer can protect my answer to back to basics. And I don't care that much about Wasteland. This Wasteland taking me off green would be rough. Here's my daily dose of medicine from the Cauldra. I am approaching my starting life total now. I'll dress down this thing. I don't want another round of equipment coming through. Force of Will. Pitching Force of Will. Alright, if you care about this, so do I. Pyroblast. That was a good exchange for me. Tropical Island in my hand. A blank 1-2. Squire in play. Drawing Saga. Which picks up the other Saga. Tropical Island, Uro time. Moving cards I don't want to see again when I go through my deck for the second time, which is likely to happen in the matchup. Fully expected that Plow immediately, that's fine. I gain 9 life here, I have 2 more Uros in the graveyard, not a problem. 2 dress downs in hand, I can tutor up a Dreadnought this turn. Opponent down to 3 cards. I'm stubbornly holding on to the Soul Guide Lantern, I'm not going to get Snapcastered if I can avoid it. Dress down in response to the Saga triggers. Veil of Summer can protect from some of the stuff they could do here. During a Dreadnought. Can't Uro with what I have, so I might as well ponder. First to Plowshares in response. Okay. No good answer to that. I can get another Dreadnought next turn. Force of Vigor. Alter Complete is still indestructible. I do have a land drop still this turn. I want Force of Vigor more than I want Ponder. Play my land and can't Uro with this, but I can pass the turn. If I'd found another Bolt, I could kill the Germ, because it currently has no abilities. I could absorb 2 damage here. Might as well. This punishes me if they have back to basics, but I have the Force on top. Just gain 2 life. I'm going to dress down anyway, and I would lose this construct. 2 Dreadnoughts in exile, 2 still in the deck. Ponder, yep. Did not shuffle. Rest in peace. That card's actually really bad for me, and I don't have a lot of good answers to it. Sure. It happens, though. Guess I'm drawing a card with Soul Guide Lantern here. Force of Vigor. I can clear the Rest in Peace. All my Uros are already Deadzos. Dress down. Draw a card. Tutor, Dreadnought. You know the drill by now. Ponder. Can I find the other Dreadnought? Carpets. Are carpets helpful at this point? Probably not, but I will take this Saga. If they just don't attack with Cauldra, I can't attack because they have First Strike. But if I find a Dress Down, are there any left? I feel like I've used all of them. 1, 3, shit. Not a Dress Downs. Woof. Okay, yeah, I'm probably losing this game. What I have to do is turn the corner and bash with Endurance and Lightning Bolt. Also just heavily running low on time here. There's that carpet that I knew was on top. Play Scalding Tarn. I don't want the other carpet that's in my deck right now. Deck with Endurance. I'm going to make green with carpet. It doesn't matter what color I make. I'm just using it to activate the Saga. Beatdown mode. I got 3 minutes to get through a Cauldra. And they are doing the thing that I didn't want them to do, which is just turtling up. I don't think I have an answer to Cauldra anymore. I guess I'll destroy Rest in Peace in the end step. If I can get Greater Good going... Oh god, I had to use all my green for this. Can't even Veil of Summer, the thing that I've been waiting the whole game to Veil of Summer. Stifle, right on time. Carpet. Yes, make blue. Activate. Not going to search. There's one Dreadnought. Oh, I have Stifle in my hand. Get out of here. I am going to search. Stifle this. And pass the turn. Out of Dress Downs. I have no answer to Cauldra. Also a Batterskull here. Sort of Feast and Famine. Does that matter? Not really. Land doesn't really matter either. They're equipping. This is pro green. But any giant artifacts in play. This doesn't matter. Other Endurance. Might as well. Opponent's empty. I have 2 minutes to deal 13 damage to my opponent. Seems like it should be easier than this with Phyrexian Dreadnought in play. I'll make blue with my Carpet so I can cast Brainstorm. Greater Good. Are you unplayable anymore? I'm going to put back Greater Good and Brainstorm, then EI into the Brainstorm and one new card. The other Lightning Bolt is still in my deck. Endurance to hand, Greater Good to the bottom, exile Brainstorm. That's the other Brainstorm. Force of Will actually seems helpful. I'm going to put back Scalding Tarn and Lightning Bolt. Try to win next turn. Get to add my last body that I have to the board. I can force basically anything they do here. Especially that. Force Fetching Ponder on that. End of turn, I can Endurance. Trying to do the math here. Good for 3, 6, 9, 10, 11, 12 right now. I'm going to Veil just to draw a card. They did cast a blue card. There's Lightning Bolt. Carpet. No. Lightning Bolt. A blocker. And here comes the squad. F6, F6. Hope this gets over the finish line. Looks like 12 damage to me. And they're at 13. And I have more attackers than they have blockers for next turn. I can get through this in 24 seconds. F6, F6, let's go. You need a removal spell or a blocker right now. Don't do it. I don't care about that. Okay, they're dead. They're dead, they're dead. As long as my Carpet doesn't do anything, we're fine here. They're just trying to eat up clock with triggers and stuff, but I'm F6'd. I have no blocks. Attack with all creatures, and F6 with 8 seconds left. Wow! That was a heart pounder. 7 seconds left on the clock. It's all I needed. On to the final round. We got a trophy match. For the absolute best Magic the Gathering apparel on the market, check out the link in the video description to coalesceapparel.shop, and be sure to use the code BoshNRoll for 10% off when you check out. I'm on the play for the final round with a sped up Dreadnought. Keep. Trophy on the line. Let's go. I have 4 lands in my hand, and Wasteland can target Saga, so I'm just going to get Tropical Island. And cast Ponder. Stifle, Uro, Ponder. I like all of these. End it. Opponent mulled to 6, and has an island of their own. A Ponder of their own. I drew the Ponder, play the Saga. I can Stifle a Wasteland, and step a Dress Down. Oh wait, I don't want to Dress Down yet. Dress Down's for next turn. I can shove in Uro and Stifle the trigger, is what I can do this time. Delver, okay. Okay, I can Stifle Wasteland. That's what this is going to do. Stifle Reno. I beat up on Delver for the last round here. I'm going to shove Uro. My plan is to Dress Down anyway. Don't need to make a construct. Uro is great against Delver. Get me out ahead of Daze. Get me out ahead of Wasteland. Ponder right now. Got another Trop to do that with. Force of Will to back up the squad. Delver is not a deck that's very good at answering a Dreadnought. And if they Wasteland my Saga here, then they have Uro. Emergency Brainstorm. Trying to flip this Delver. Flipped Revealing Ponder. Okay. Another Wasteland. Alright, guess I'm on Uro. I have to do this the old-fashioned way. Bobble, sure. Is it a good one? Do I know what's on top of my deck right now? No, I just shuffled. No, I shuffled and pondered. So I do know what's on top of my deck. I believe it's Ponder, right? Opponent draws a card. I draw a card. It's Brainstorm. That's almost Ponder. Fetch for a Volcanic Island. Shove Uro into play. I will force a Daze here. Again, leaving cards I want to see again in the deck. Uro trigger, double force backing up Uro. Also, if they spend 2 lightning bolts on Uro, I can just get it back into play at some point. Murktide Regent. This is worth a force of will to me. I'll pitch Brainstorm and just have the double force up. If they force back, I force back. All right, cool. They've had enough. That was fast. Pyroblast comes in. Run afoul, Carpet of Flowers, Endurance, Hydroblast. I think I go pretty heavy against Delver, actually. I talked to Akratos about exactly this matchup in the session that we had to work on this deck, and we identified that there's 2 options. You can be hyper combo and just shove Dreadnought down their throat, or you can settle back and be rug mid-range and never shove anything down their throat and never expose yourself to a blowout. And we all know my playstyle. I'm going for the never get blown out, make it hard to lose, and eventually you'll win strategy. That's -1 greater good in all of these things. They are almost certainly going to have surgical for my Uro. Yellow Summer, last thing that I would consider here. I really only have Pyroblast that can kill a Murktide Regent, other than keeping it out of play. I think I'm going to shave another greater good and bring in Veil of Summer. This is a Wasteland Daze deck. It's the most efficient deck in the format. One of the most efficient decks in Magic, period. So I'll go down to 1 of my awkward 4-drop against them. Absolutely not a card I want to see if I'm not ready for it. I'll keep this. Lands, interaction spells, Uro. Volcanic Island. Please ponder. Right, it's Delver. Pyroblast, okay. I'm not going to bolt the Delver right away. They have Daze that exposes me to Wasteland when I'm not really ready for it. See what they do here. I'm in a Uro deck. I can take 3 or 1 a number of times before I'm super in trouble. Dragon's Rage Channeler. Ponder, which sets up the Delver for next turn. Kept the card. Did not shuffle, left all their cards there. Because I have the Abrade too, I'm going to play into Daze and attack now. And I'm going to go after DRC. That card is better than Delver right now. Cool. Had nothing for that. There's a Saga, go in. I can Abrade the Delver. I'm going to save Pyroblast for Murktide Regent. I'll take a lot of damage from this Delver before I worry about using Pyroblast on it. And I'll take 3 now as well. I don't want to get got by True Name Nemesis when I'm holding Pyroblast. That's been in some sideboards lately. End step, Abrade. Didn't have Daze last turn, or didn't want to use Daze last turn. Okay. They had a hardcast Daze this time, sure. Can't pay the 1. Please stop asking. It's disrespectful. Fetching now around Stifle. Cool. Gonna jam Uro here. I know they have Pyroblast, but go ahead, use it. Uro trigger. I'd love to find a land, especially a red one. I found the 1 of greater good. Don't love my position here, I'm not gonna lie. Wasteland is truly devastating right now. Without Wasteland, it's okay, we're still playing the game. I'm ready for that one, as long as it's not also backed up by Wasteland. The Delver's coming in for 3. It takes away the 3 life points Uro just got me. Just down off the top. It's Ponder. I'm going to have to take this slow. I'm actually going to Pyroblast the Murktide now, so I can exile it with Soul Guide Lantern. I'm playing around Daze. If they force this, I have Veil of Summer. Soul Guide Lantern, get in here. Get this Murktide. They're still holding Red Blast over there. I'm going to go for a Brainstorm right now. There's some bad cards in my hand. Finally time to Red Blast me. I'll draw a card in response, see what happens. I had a mana floating anyway. Alright, found Dress Down for next turn. Cool. Missing land drop through all that is tough, but the Red Blast is gone, Murktide's gone, their graveyard's gone. Now I need to fade Wasteland for a little bit and rebuild. Played a 4th Volcanic Island. Okay. Put a 13 here. Okay. Draw for turn. Another Pyroblast. I'm gonna Ponder off of red, because I can protect with Veil of Summer. I have to get rid of this. These are not lands. Carpet of Flowers. Let's fucking go. I'm just going for it. If you Daze, you got me. Please don't Daze, though. Force of Will, pitching Murktide Regent. Okay. That would have been a good card to resolve, but going for it now, getting them hellbent, it's okay. That would have won the game, though, for sure. Okay, they're on one card. Please don't be Wasteland. Land. Stifle. Okay. That can counter Wasteland. I can kill Delver on their turn, and then just be stable and chill out for a while. I'm going to kill Delver right now. I guess that does give them enough to make a 5/5 Murktide. Let's just hope that they don't. Come on, land. Come on, land. Endurance. This is some nonsense. Okay. I will pitch cast Greater Good if they go for Mystic Sanctuary. Okay, I'm going to end step Dress Down. This is a good test. Dress Down, see what happens. Dress Down resolved. I'm going to get a card out of this, and it's a land, which means I can Veil of Summer. Okay, here's a Dreadnought. If they Pyroblast Dress Down now, then I lose Dreadnought, but I have Stifle. Okay. I'm likely to end up with a Dreadnought this turn. Oh, bummer. That was really clever. What am I going to do? Stifle, the Dreadnought, and I can Veil of Summer a Pyroblast. Theft. Oh, that's even better. This fizzles the Brazen Borrower. I think we just trophied, folks. They don't even get the 3/1 at the other end. Dreadnought's in play. 12/12 versus no cards in hand. Okay, trophy on the line. Don't draw a Meltdown. I don't care about Murktide anymore. I don't care about any creature. I don't care about Lightning Bolt. Oh, we did it! That's the trophy for Greater Good Rug Dreadnought. We saw all angles of this deck, a quick Dreadnought, Uro Grind, and Greater Good basically Storm at the top end. Playing 19 lands in an Uro deck is kind of aggressive. I've played as many as 23, but and you also have the low end there. Minor Misstep was really good. I wonder if we want more of those in the deck. Maybe over the Misdirection, just 2 Minor Missteps. And Chrome Mox is on my watch list as well. I didn't really like that. It probably would be better just as another land. And those are the notes I have for this. This was an absolute pleasure. We went fast, we went slow, we went mid, we went where we needed to go, and this was freaking sweet. Akratos, thank you for sharing it with me. Explore Minor Misstep some more. That card was great. Cards I consider flex slots are the Chrome Mox, the third Greater Good, the Misdirection. Any of those could become 1 or more additional missteps or 1 or more additional lands. Awesome deck. Thank you so much. Everybody, thanks for watching. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe. Check out the links that support the channel in the video description, and I'll see you next time.